Yeah, so today we're going to be replacing my winch. So we've got a XDM 12,000 pounder. So I run one of these in my dual cab, and yeah, never had an issue. There's actually nothing wrong with this winch, but just for the reasons why we're going remote or going up to the Cape, we don't want to have any dramas, and I really don't know what sort of condition it really is inside, and I don't know if we'll have any dramas, but like there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. There you go. See, this is exactly why I'm replacing it. So spoke too soon. Don't know what. No way, that's funny as. So this is why we're replacing it now. Yeah, so there you go. I've got a reason to actually replace it now. So yeah, I'll pull this out now and we'll chuck her in. So it's got some sockets and rattle gun. So yeah, we'll zip her off. 4 bolts there, and there. And then we'll take the wiring out. So, disconnect the battery up first. Get the 10 mil. So yeah, just cracked both of these. So that's off. Just so yeah, when we're playing around with it, don't have any dramas. And yeah, we'll put those nuts back on just that way. We don't lose any nuts or bolts, and yeah, we'll feed all this out. Pull that through. Gotta have a sneaky beverage. Yeah, we'll pull that back through. So yeah, we'll probably run it back the same way roughly, and yeah, so we'll just, there's a zip tie up there, we'll cut off, and then yeah, that should be it, besides the 4 bolts on the front. We've got the big 80 under the cover at the moment, so it doesn't get all grime and dust on it. But yeah, what are you up to, Ethan?
Bracing shitty cruiser diffs.
Yeah, because cruiser diffs like to go burr.
Yeah,
so yeah, we got the knuckle gussets, we've got the radius arm, brace mounts, diff helmet, truss. So yeah, it should be braced top to bottom, same as the chassis.
The other side's got oil.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got a bit going on in the old cruiser. There. Coil tower brace, all chassis bracing. Same with the rear, which you did a couple of weeks beforehand. All braced. We've got Benji's arms and all that. Dobinson shocks, hydro bumps, etc. Upper control arms with Benji's long arm mount for the uppers. So yeah, cruiser's getting there. Also got the other brush bar, belt and sliders to chuck on the wagon out the front. Got a new housing and Hyperflex arms for the dual cab. So I actually swapped the fella my X-Link housing and hybrids for that bare housing with the Hyperflex arms. So we'll have to brace that and chuck that in the dual cab. So yeah, she'll be sitting here out of action for a little while just because we've got too much on to get the Cape car ready. And yeah, got another project coming up. So we're going to be building this in the shed and using the parts from the other two down the back. So that'll be in full swing hopefully towards the end of the year. So yeah, got some big plans for that. Yeah, so I just removed the number plate, and how they've done these bolts is in from the back side, but you have to remove that. But I'm thinking I might use that bracket underneath anyway instead of using the new one, because that'll be the same sort of thing anyway. So yeah, I'll take that off that way. I'll then disconnect the wires there, pull that unit out, and then drop the winch. So I thought the unit was separate to the bracket, so it turns out it isn't. So we'll just pull that off. So I'm just going to get the grinder out and lop those two suckers off, and it'll just come out. So we'll go with that. So if you remember, when using your grinder, make sure you got your safety glasses and earmuffs. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go to safety squint, but yeah, don't recommend doing that. I'll put a new blade on so it's a little bit bigger on diameter, and we'll get through that. So I've got the fresh blade in now, so we should get the depth. Oh, there she goes. So just like that, should be bloody hot. But yeah, straight through, and it popped straight off, just like we wanted, and no damage to the bar. So yeah, I'll put that back together later, but that bracket is still intact, so I can reuse that if need be. So yeah, that's works out well. Yeah, just needs 2 new bolts and some nuts, and yeah. So I ended up just unbolting all the cables from the control box, as they looped it over one of the little braces, and it was going to be a bit more of a pain to undo that than to take them out of there. So I thought I'd just do it that way, so make it a bit easier, I reckon. But yeah, they just looped it under and over, which yeah, fair enough, but yeah, makes it a bit more of a pain. So just going to drop the winch down now. I have to not crush my legs. Oh, so always that little bit more to go. Right, you gotta pull it through. Oh, of course that caught. That's how you do a winch. You gotta pull the bar off now. So yeah, we'll open up and then install the new winch. Come on, today.
Get in there.
I'm kidding.
Whoa. Instructions.
Yeah, oh, pass them here for a sec. So first things about these, you don't need them.
Ready?
Oh, there she is. Pretty beefy for a 12,000 pound winch. So yeah, bigger unit to the previous one. So the other one must have been roughly, it could have been 12,000, but all the decals off it are worn out. So yeah. So yeah, as I said, I've got one of these in my dual cab, and yeah, been running it for over a year now and haven't had a single drum with it. So that's why we've opted for it again. And for the price range, it's only 540 bucks for a club member. So, which we thought was perfect for our budget at the moment, because we've spent a bit of money on it lately, as you can see. Yeah, so I got these inserts to put in to each 4 corner. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of grease on them, just so they don't slip out. It'll, because it's nice and sticky and whatnot, it'll stop it from moving. Just a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of grease doesn't hurt anything. It'll help with the thread going in. So one, last one. So that's in. Okay. Now the fun part. So yeah, just like that. I just line it straight up. So just got the control box in and mucking around with the brackets they've supplied. So how I want to do it, the controller will be mounted to the back of this, but the positioning of that is going to have the box like that in there, which I don't want. So I'm going to cut the front of this bracket off and put this 45-degree angled part on the front side, so that way it'll bolt to the back and then slightly aim forwards. So I'll be happy with that. Yeah, so just nothing special. Don't zoom up on it, please. Nothing special, just yeah. So yeah, relocate it from here. That was kicked back on the opposite direction, on the opposite side, and kicked forward now. So it's only on maybe about a 20 degree, I think that is. So that'll sit about there, and the box slightly angled back here, enough that these cables won't hit the grill, and the bottom of the bar there. So it should work out alright. So yeah, made up that bracket, got that control box in. I just put a nut cert in under there, so should hold that pretty stable, well, and nice and stiff. I've still got, it's pretty well centered to either side here, enough room to still, if we need to, plug the actual controller in. We have wired up the box, wired it to the winch. Got to put the hook onto the fair lead, and then yeah, connect to the battery, and we'll give her a test. Yeah, so just got the hook it comes with. I might upgrade that in the future, but just for now we'll chuck that on. So yeah, straight in, over the top, through, and locked. So yeah, nice and simple. And then yeah, just fold these over. Yeah, lock that in afterwards. And yeah, well, that's that. Yeah, so we'll just give her a quick test run. So yeah, just it's on wireless at the moment, so it should. So we'll just lock that in there, I reckon, just for now. Yeah. And yeah, job done. So all fresh, ready for the trip. So now just to build the rest of the car. So yeah, it was a pretty easy winch to install. Only dramas we had was with that the mounting bracket for the control box. I didn't like how it was angled, so yeah, pretty fortunate. I got a welder and yeah, just lopped it off and changed the angle and relocated it, so that made things heaps easier. But yeah, instructions are pretty self-explanatory, nice and easy to wire up. So yeah, didn't have any issues there, and yeah, keen to use it and pull out all those Toyota drivers. Yeah, that'll do for that video. We'll probably see you on the next one. Be back at it with the rear bar, so I'll upload. That video will come up in the next week, possibly, depending if I get the other stub axle and the other parts to finish it off, and hopefully it'll be on the bus. So yeah, see you then, guys. There's